welcome back to the Graceful Tangle YouTube channel. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for taking some time to join me today for another podcast episode. I'm excited to be back with you guys this week. It has been a couple weeks since my last episode, and honestly, I'm considering pushing it a week further because I just do not have a lot to share this week. We are in the heat of summer, and so just working with yarn is not the most appealing thing. But it's just kind of been like the summer of the crochet slump a little bit, I think. But that's okay. Fall is on the horizon, and I am so stinking excited about that. I cannot wait to make all of the hats and design all of the hats, and just it's the prime time for knit and crochet season in the fall and winter, and I really can't wait to get there, honestly. But anyways, I do have just a few projects to share this week and a book that I read this week that I want to talk to you guys about because it is so good, and I highly recommend it. So let's just go ahead and jump into it today with a few things that I've been working on. So instead of breaking everything up into segments this week, I'm literally just going to show you these 3 projects because it's just such a weird mishmash. They are all at a really weird state of actually being worked on. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, the first, I am designing a wreath for Hobie. I'm doing a collaboration with them. This pattern actually is not going to come out until closer to Christmas, which is super weird and awkward to share now, obviously, but that's okay. So this is actually going to be a wreath form. So I have a foam circle wreath type situation. Wow, it's like also all tangled up. And the yarn that I have on the floor, which is great. But anyways, here is the wreath form that I have. This is just a 14-inch one. So what I'm going to do is I'm crocheting this long panel, and then I'm going to seam it around the wreath, and that's going to be like the base for what I'm going to add on to it to kind of complete the design. So it's going really well. It's been really time consuming because I've just been trying to figure out the best way to write the pattern to make it accommodate any wreath size, and I think I finally got it, which is really exciting. So now I'm just like finishing up that sample and finishing up the pattern and things like that. So that has been a big project kind of on my mind and on the back burner, but it's also for Christmas, and so it's like it's so weird to talk about it and post about it, so I haven't really done that. But anyway, so that is the first thing that I'm working on. Secondly, I have a little hat going. This is the Muse beanie that is going to be releasing at the very beginning of fall, so in a couple of months. But it's just a really basic hat pattern. It features Knit Picks Muse yarn, which is one of my absolute favorites, but it is a single ply Aran or heavy worsted weight yarn. So there's a lot of different options like yarns with this weight out there, and it can be really tricky to find a pattern that kind of satisfies it gauge wise. And so I wanted to create one that would, and it's super easy. It's like the most basic hat pattern ever, but I absolutely love it for that exact reason. So yeah, I'm just kind of working on this here and there. It's super mindless. I'm just in the stockinette right now. So I am fully enjoying it. It's just, you know, kind of, I'm working on a hat in the middle of summer. But that's okay. So anyways, I'm excited to release this pattern though, because like I said, I've been wanting one that is just features this yarn so beautifully that's just plain. I have so many hat patterns out there that feature this yarn, Knit Picks Muse, but they're all patterned or like Fair Isle or something, so I'm excited to have one that is just plain stockinette to be able to kind of refer people to. But yeah, and then if you're curious, I'm using size 9 needles for this yarn. I find that size just works really well. So that is that. And then the last work in progress that I currently have going is just a simple pair of vanilla shorty socks. This is the first one. So for this pair, I'm using my Success Shorties sock pattern. So these are cuff down. You start at the cuff, work your way down to the toe, and then Kitchener it. However, the pattern is written for an afterthought heel, and I am doing them with a German short row heel for the first time, and I'm having so much fun with it. The other day, let's see if I can get my sock up here. Okay, so here is where I'm at with my second sock. I knit the heel the other day. I had knit half of it, and then I thought that I did something wrong, and so I ripped the entire thing out, and it turns out I did not do anything wrong. So that's fun. I had to, basically knit 1.5 heels for this one sock, but that's okay. anyways, I'm having a lot of fun with these though. It's just, again, super mindless. It's great to just be able to chill for a few minutes and work on this sock or the beanie. It's not in this season of life. It just how kind of the summer has been, how designs are right now. It's really nice to just have a few projects that I can just pick up and do a few rounds, feel a little bit satisfied in terms of like, you know, having something done, working on a project, but not this huge big thing. So anyways, that is that project. I'm using Patterns, I think is how you pronounce it, Crochet, Kroy. That was way too difficult, and it's way too difficult for me to say apparently, but it's just like one of their striped colors, and I think it is so cute and fun. I love this palette. It also looks really cute with this shirt color. But yeah, anyways, so working on these, I will definitely have this sock done by the next time I film, for sure. I should have quite a few FOs next episode, just because it's kind of at that point with all of these projects to where they will be done in the foreseeable future, which is very exciting. I am working on a couple of other things, but I haven't put enough progress on them over the past couple of weeks to really share them, so I'm just gonna hold off on that. But I am gonna have some designs releasing soon as well, which it's been a couple of weeks since I've released a design, so I'm really excited about that. It's just hard, you know, to find inspiration in just the middle of summer when it's so hot, and you know, people aren't really looking for hat projects, just like the things that are the most popular for knit and crochet patterns. So yeah, anyways, but stay tuned because I do have some fun ones coming out soon, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys. But that is it. Just those few projects for knit and crochet talk this week. But like I said, I did read such a good book throughout this week, and so I wanted to share with you guys for devotion this week. So for devotional, I wanted to share this book with you guys that I recently read. It's called It's Not About Me by Max Lucado. I'm not 100% sure either way. This was so good. It was recommended to me by a really dear friend, and I am so glad that I read it. I actually found this copy on Thrift Books, which is like an online book thrift store. Basically, it's absolutely amazing. The deal, you can find really, really good deals, and almost always the books are in really good condition. But yeah, so many things stood out to me in this book. I could talk about it for hours, honestly. I guess like the biggest synopsis is the message of the book is, again, it's not about me, it's all about God. And I think just the mentality of living your life for Him and not for yourself, and like what you can accomplish, what you can say that you did, what you can be successful at, or your list of failures or mistakes or whatever. It's not about any of that. It's about how did you serve me? How did you honor me? How were you a good steward of your faith? How did you lead others to my love? Like those are the things that God cares about, and so those are the things that I want to care about. Those are the things that we should be caring about as Christians, as His followers. And so that was just like the overarching message of the entire book. We can't be satisfied unless we are content in Him and all that He's already done. And yeah, it was just so good. A couple of things I underlined a lot and just like throughout the book. But let's see if I can find like a couple to just kind of this chapter. So it's divided into chapters. I think there's like 15 maybe. Let me see if I can read out a few of them to you. Show me your glory, wholly different, just a moment, His unchanging hand. My message is about Him. My salvation is about Him. My body is about Him. My struggles are about Him. My success is about Him. Like those are chapters 9 through 13, the my ones. It's all about changing the way that we think about ourselves in light of who He is and what He has done, and how we are called to give Him glory in all of the ways that He's blessed us. Kind of using our success to glorify Him, using our struggles to bring Him glory, like our entire lives to bring Him glory, which is exactly what we are designed to do. But it can be really hard in today's world to actually do that because it's fallen and broken, and it won't be made whole until He comes back. But one line that stood out says, "Why are you good at what you do for God's sake? Your success is not about what you do, it's all about Him, His present and future glory." Let's see if I can find another piece that really stood out. There was a chapter on like grace versus legalism. It says legalism is joyless because legalism is endless. It's just there are endless ways that we can try to like prescribe and give instructions on how we should live life, when really if we approach it with that mentality, we're never gonna feel joyful or at peace, because we're just trying to do these things because we think that we should, whereas in reality we're really just called to accept his grace and to walk in his love and to embrace who he is and all he's done, and then try to live that out and display it for other people through our words and our actions and the way that we live our life. So anyways, it was a really, really good book. I highly recommend it. I will try to link it down in the description box below if you would like to check it out for yourself. But yeah, it was really, really good. And then kind of on that same note, just as something fun to share, I purchased this Bible on Amazon Prime Day. It was like a half off, I think. I want to say I paid maybe $24 or something for it. But this is the She Reads Truth Bible, and I am so excited about this. The biggest thing that kind of caught my attention is it has like Bible plans and devotionals for every book of the Bible in it already laid out. So like if you go to one book, let me see if I can find it. I have yet to spend a good chunk of time to just kind of dive into it and figure out the layout and things like that. But at the beginning of every book, it'll kind of give you like a timeline, a little bit of a background, and then the purpose of the book. So that's what that page looks like in Habakkuk. That one's challenging. It has so many K's. Habakkuk, I think is how you pronounce it. Anyway, and then it has an actual plan. So like this book is only divided into 1 week, but it'll say week 1 and then like what to read each day, and then I know that you cannot read this on the screen, but then like ways to go deeper in other parts of scripture. So I am really excited about this. It's just like it's nice to kind of have it laid out in a sense of, okay, this is what I'm going to read today, this is how I'm going to go deeper. It's nice to like, I mean, my personality, it's nice to have it to be checked off, but obviously it goes so much deeper than that in just, okay, this is another portion of the Bible that I could read that will help me understand this part a little bit more. This is a way to read this book this week and then go to another book next week instead of, delaying it because I don't know where to go next or whatever. Anyways, again, I will also link this below if you would like to check it out, but I'm really excited. There's also a different, I typically read NIV. This is CSB, or Christian Standard Bible, so it's a different translation. It's very similar to NIV, I think, but I'm excited to just have it to kind of compare the two a little bit as well and get a little bit more depth for any particular verse. But yeah, and that is about it that I have to share this week. Just those few projects and a couple of books. But I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. It has definitely been a little bit of a shorter one, but hopefully I will have some actual finished objects to share next week. That is most certainly the plan. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't as well, because I'm just more active kind of day to day over on there, which is fun. But yeah, until next time, happy making, and I will see you all then. Bye.